Hey guys, it's Tessa. So first of all, I sound horrendous because I'm sick and have been for 4 days at this point, and it's not getting any better. I was feeling a little bit better yesterday, and then today I'm back to feeling like a trash can. Oh my gosh. So in my sickness trash can fever dream, I have finally frogged the green and brown cardigan I was working on like a few months ago. Finally frogged it. This is all I have left currently of the brown plus another skein that's wound up, and then of the green I have all of this. So I have decided I hated the way the stripes looked. I hated the overall shaping I was going for. I just hated the whole thing, if I'm being completely honest. I didn't like it, didn't love it. If I don't love it, I'm not going to finish it. So, frogged the whole thing, alright? As you can see, I'm wearing the current yoke of it. It's not very long. I'm like 20 rows from splitting for the sleeves, actually, which is really cool. But I decided to basically wing it. I downloaded this pattern. Let me show you. I have my big old pattern book here now that, you know, I can print patterns. And this is the DIY Knit V-Neck Raglan Sweater by Beginner's Luck Craft. I'll also put a picture of it here. But essentially, this person does kind of give us the formulas we need a little bit. So it's really cool. But essentially what we've done here is this person has provided the swatch measurements, how to find X for the swatch measurements, and then how to use that number to find your magic number, and how to make your magic number tell you how many stitches you're casting on and what you're splitting for the raglan. I'll go into this a little bit more once I finish it, because at this point I'm doing only one video on this cardigan because I don't ever want to look at this thing. I don't ever want to work on this again, okay? I don't want to look at it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. We're doing one big video. It's a progress video, and at the very end I'll tell you all my feedback. But this is technically only for like a raglan sweater, not a raglan sweater, a V-neck raglan sweater. So in theory, the increases for the V-neck portion may not be 100%. So I merged this pattern with a secondary pattern that's basically my tried and true pattern at this point. And it is the flax cardigan, the flax light sweater by Tin Can Knits. Sorry, my brain, oopie goopie. But essentially what I've done is I figured out my number based on the Luck Crafts version, or Luck Crafts measurements, feedback they tell you. And then I also am using the flax light for the specific like stitch gauge, like where I need to be before I split for the sleeves, which that's a little difficult, but essentially it's the fact that your front and back panels are going to be roughly the same number of stitches, both your arm pieces are going to be roughly the same number of stitches. So how to get to those measurements and not have a huge long yoke versus like a shorter one that's too short, it's all that stuff. So essentially I've merged these two patterns together to get roughly the measurement I need. And it's working out. As you can see here, I have it tried on. I still have to do, I think, like roughly like 18 to 20 more rows. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more of the increased repeats noted, meaning I have 14 rows total remaining still. So at that point I'll probably check back in and kind of figure out if I need to split or not from there. But that is the check-in for right now. I'm going to keep working on this because it's the only thing I want to work on right now, and it's the only thing I can lock into at the moment. And then I'm going to keep watching my shows and knitting. Be prepared. I don't know, maybe there won't be maybe, you know what, I'm going to put this out there. Start of the year, put it out there. This project's not going to have any more frogging, any more big frogging involved, I think. Oh, I should also note what I plan on doing with the green yarn. I think I'm going to use the green yarn for all of the ribbing cuffs and the button band, I think is my plan. I don't know for sure if that's 100% what I'm locked into. In my Make 9 video, I kind of showed an example cardigan of what I wanted to do with this yarn, and it includes a couple stripes on it, and I'll insert the photo here. But I might do like those stripes in the green maybe, or something like that. Originally I was going to do color blocking, but I decided I wasn't really a big fan of like just flat color blocking like that. But I don't know, it'll kind of just depend on how this goes. So that is it for now, and then we'll check in again when we split. It's like 2 days later since we've checked in last. Still sick. Also, I kind of forgot to check in when I split for sleeves because I did it last night at like 8 p.m. and so I was like 50% sure I did it wrong. I didn't, surprisingly. Split for sleeves. I'm on ball number 3 or 4. I have to weigh this honestly to figure out what number I'm on. But I'm loving this. I feel like the armholes are a little deeper than I'd like, but also I'm okay with that, and I'm fine with getting batwing sleeves as well. That's for when like you do too many decreases too quickly and it creates essentially like comes out, the sleeve like moves with you when it shouldn't. But I'm loving this color. I didn't think I'd like it very much, or I was worried I wouldn't like it very much because it's, you know, just a standard brown color, but no, I love it, and I love the way this cardigan's turning out already, and I'm really hoping I have enough of just the brown to do everything but the cuffs and button band, and waist ribbing. So I'm hoping I have enough brown for all of that. I think if I remember correctly, I bought 9 balls of the brown, and I'm either on 3 or 3.5 at this point. I'm gonna weigh it here in a minute to find out for sure, but if that's the case, I should be able to get through the rest of the body with about 2 more. And then each sleeve would only need 1, especially if I'm doing consistent decreasing. Maybe a little bit more than 1. So that's what, let's say I'm at 3.5, 5.5, 6, 7.5. I should still have enough. I should have some extra, but that's very loose math, and I am loosey-goosey with math. I don't like math. But yeah, so I'm gonna keep working on this and check in eventually. Am I allowed to? Okay, I can film now. New hair, surprise. I'm still sick. Gibby's in menace mode because we went to Dutch Bros. I got me my strawberry green tea. And he got a pup cup, and then he just had breakfast. So he's in full menace mode right now. But yeah, so I'm still sick, and if I'm sick for too long, and I get like, what's it called? I can't think of the word. But basically, if I don't socialize enough in general, I get very like I need to do something. And since I've been sick for a week and a half, I basically haven't been able to leave our house really, let alone go hang out with any of my friends or do anything really. Like, I've barely been able to even function at work. Like, I've had to take multiple like parts of days off because I'm just so sick still. However, it's Sunday. Anyway, that's actually completely off topic. What's that? Yeah, so if I don't socialize enough, I do crazy girl shit. And this week that included dyeing my hair green on the blonde side, which I don't love the way the green turned out because I wanted to be more green and less blue, but it's way more blue than it is green, which annoys me. But really, I just need to go buy like yellow hair dye and cover it, or just let it fade and redo the mix. Anywho, let me know what you think about it. I don't know if I love it. Anyway, it's Sunday. I think last we spoke was like Friday maybe, or Thursday. I don't remember. But here's where we're at so far. I decided once I split for sleeves that I didn't really want to deal with having the full body completed while working on the sleeves. So I finished the skein of yarn, or the ball of yarn that I was on for the body at the time. I finished the ball of yarn I was on at the time, and basically just set my cable aside so I could work on the sleeves. I'm on sleeve number 1 still. I've had to frog this fucker twice already. I'm getting a little fed up with it. I think it'll be fine though. I'm using the same decrease method I did on the halibut sweater, which is like for 5 repeats every 5th row I decrease, for 5 repeats every 4th row repeated until every 3rd, 2nd, and then whenever there's no row. If I remember correctly for the halibut sweater, I didn't actually get to the final like decrease rounds, like the repeat. I don't know if I will with this one either, just because I just don't know if I will. I don't really care if I do or don't, if I'm being honest. I just don't like super baggy sleeves. Like, I don't like balloon sleeves. I think they look awful on me. So, my goal here today in this business, I want to finish the sleeve. I don't want to keep working on it. I'm going to finish the sleeve, and then depending on what time it is, I'll probably start the second sleeve. I currently have what remains of this ball of yarn, which is a new one, and not from like scraps and stuff. This is a new one. I think I've used like 27 grams of it already, so I'm getting a little scared I won't have enough yarn to finish the sleeve. And then I've got 3 full skeins left, and then this partial skein left. Okay, sorry about that. Gibby started having an arthritis episode, so I had to go give him his meds and stuff. He's okay, I promise. And he's drinking water currently, so. Well, I'll listen. Love you too. Hey, please don't drink it all. Gibby, hey. Hey, come here. Cookie? There you go. Stop with the water. No. Hey, stop. You're gonna make yourself sick. Exactly. I love that that's a puddle of water on my floor now. Okay, sorry about that. Gibby started having arthritis, or started having an arthritis episode, so I had to go give him his meds. He's okay now, I promise. It basically turns into a little bit of a statue where he's afraid to move, so I just gotta give him his meds and he's good to go. Right, Gibbs? Hey, let's show everyone you're okay. You okay? Come here. No jumpy. But see, he's okay. He was just, yeah. I'm gonna lift up my camera. Okay. Alright, so, like you saw, he's okay now. Like you saw, he's okay now. He just needs to take a chill pill. I think what happened is, when he gets really hyped up, he pretends to want to go outside for some reason. So we put him into the yard, and then my husband let him in, and he came running at me, and as you saw, he has like a pile of blankets here. And I think he slipped and like his back feet went underneath him, and I think that's what triggered his arthritis episode. He seems okay now though, so that's good. I promise he's okay, and I'm not just like being nonchalant about it. He's done this quite a few times at this point, and we kind of have a routine with him. Anyway, since Gibbs is all good now, I'm gonna work on this sleeve and hopefully finish it. But yeah. Alright, so I can't fully remember when we last spoke. I'm still sick, by the way. Tomorrow basically marks week 2 of extreme sickness. I woke up this morning and I could barely speak at all because I filmed a video last night that just basically used all my voice power. Luckily I had no meetings this week, or today, but I have meetings tomorrow at work, so let's hope it's not too bad. Okay, so cardigan. As you can see, I did complete the sleeves. They're maybe a tad too short. I was trying to go for just a little bit shorter than I would ideally like, but I think it might be a little bit too short for that even. I'm gonna see if I can stretch them out during the blocking. Worst case scenario, I just reknit the sleeves. However, the problem with that, technically, is I only have about 3.5 or 3.25 skeins left of the brown. Currently, it sits like just under boob level, so I still have like all the way down to go, or as much down as I can go. So I think my plan is going to go through the partial skein I have. One of the skeins it's not like in its original like donut shape, and then the donut, the first donut. And ideally I leave as much of the second donut for any repairs that need to be made in the future. Also, I think I could have added more rows in the yoke. I was just really worried about having too many and then having the armholes be really big. But yeah, here's a look with my arms at my sides. You can see the sleeves are a tiny bit longer here.
Obviously when I bring them up, it's gonna shorten the cuffs, but when we're at like resting-ish position, they're only like 2 inches, inch and a half, shorter than I'd like them to be. And since this is a super wash, I do expect it to, you know, grow at least a little bit. But current game plan is just to grind on the body now. So I'm gonna get through, like I said, the scraps I have, the cake I wound in the first donut. We'll check in probably after the first cake that I made, the cake I made and the scraps, just kind of see what we're looking at lengthwise. Because if I can, perfect world, I'd keep the entire final donut of the brown open. Like I'd keep it as is, so I can use that for any sleeve lengthening or whatever else is needed. But I'm gonna start getting going on the body of this now. Let's hope my sickness goes away soon too, because I hate all of it. Put my cardigan back on. It's been a couple days. I made only a little bit of progress because of work, but I'm really nervous about the sleeve length actually. Like I'm trying it on and I was starting to edit this video, so I was looking at the previous like clips, and I had the collar like up here, but with that puts my sleeves so far away. It's like 3.5 inches. That's gonna be way too short. Even if I like stretch this fabric and I set it where I think it's supposed to be in the previous clips, it's fine, but it's pulling back already. Like it's already an inch away from the length I like. So I think my plan here, I'm gonna finish the body first. And then if I have enough yarn after finishing the body of the brown, then I'm just gonna 2 at a time fix these and just lengthen what I currently have stitch count wise. Because if I, you know, slide it down, I don't mind the width of the cuff, like how wide it is. Even like stretched out, I don't mind it being a little bit on the looser side. So that's fine with me. I would just prefer, like if I'm putting all this effort into this cardigan, I have to do it correctly, don't I? Like, I don't have to. I would like to do it correctly as it's, you know, something I've been working on in Nerdy Frog, the original version of it, to make it the way I wanted it. I've got a decent bit of the body done. I'm still on that first like Franken cake I made, so I still have 2 full skeins of it untouched. But I think I'm already roughly at like the smallest part of my waist, so I think 1 other skein should be plenty. I'm gonna kind of gauge it off of that, because again, I know this yarn stretches, like I know it does, but even if I like pre-stretch it right now, like I'm at the end of its give already just by trying to stretch it the little bit I have. And again, it's not even at the length I want with that little bit of give. So game plan, I think I already said this, I'm still a little bit sick if you couldn't tell. Game plan, finish the body. The ribbing's gonna be done in the brown, or excuse me, in the green. Finish the body, see how much yarn I have left, and if I just have like 2 or 3 of these little like balls of the yarn, of the brown, cool, I'll just use those and I'll get through as much of it as I can. It'll be annoying, but I'll do it. But yeah, that's the new game plan for now. Alright, so it's been a little bit since we spoke. It's Christmas, okay? Forgive me. But I have made a bunch of work on my cardigan. So I decided, without telling you, of course, to extend the sleeve length slightly. So it's still a little bit short, but originally it was sitting like here. So I did about an extra inch of the brown and then redid the cuffs because I wanted them to look a little nicer. I think they look great now. Sleeves are still a tiny bit short, but this has not been blocked yet. After that, I realized I still had some of the brown left, so I added a tiny bit of length to the back here because I was really worried about running out of length. And then as you can tell, I did the button band, or I did the waistband, and then I said fuck it because I was just cruising. I did the button band. I finished the button band in 2 days, so that's fun. So I'm gonna get started on blocking this,
and we'll reconvene for final thoughts and reveal after. Current final thoughts, pretty happy with it actually. The only thing I'm worried about is when it came to the edges, I would do the slip stitch method where the last stitch you knit and then your first stitch you slip to your needle and then start knitting. And I have a slight feeling that's gonna make it so that when this cardigan is wet from blocking, that the back is going to grow a ton and the front's not gonna grow enough, and I might have to aggressively block the front. I don't really know though, so we'll find out, but I'm gonna get started on blocking this. So I ended up speed blocking my cardigan here, which do as I say, not as I do. This is superwash merino, I think I mentioned. So in theory, you can put this in like a dryer at a low setting. So I blow dried it for 2 days. I blocked it last night, blow dried it for like 30-ish or so minutes, and then earlier today, because I'm an impatient goblin, I blow dried it again. Got it like 90% dry, weaved in all of the ends, and put the buttons on. Let me give you a better shot. I'm not in love with the shaping fully of the collar here because I think I just cast on too many stitches at the back panel. So my solution to that was adding some elastic here to help with it, which I really think it helps a lot, because even when when it's buttoned, obviously it stays on, but even when it's unbuttoned, I also made perfect size buttonholes, which is crazy. So even when it's not buttoned, now that I have that elastic in there, it still like sits up on my shoulders here. It's not falling down like that, which is kind of what I was doing previously. But the elastic in there really helps. I thought about adding pocket stitches. I don't think I want to, if I'm being honest. Like, I thought about it, but I don't really see a purpose in it really, because it would weigh down the fabric so much if I like stick my phone in or something. I just need pants that have pockets. That's the goal for 2026. More pants, pockets. But yeah, so there you go. Le cardigan is done. Okay, so final thoughts, feelings, and opinions. This cardigan weighs 450 grams, which technically means I could have constructed this entire thing. I could have constructed, oh my god, I could have constructed this entire thing in theory in just the brown yarn, but it would have taken every single gram I had, which I just don't have all of it because I started this as a different cardigan and ran out of yarn at one point. Not ran out of yarn. I just did it weird, so I had to scrap some of the yarn. But I'm actually pretty happy with it. The only thing I'm not the happiest with is when I was blocking all of it. Well, but when I was blocking the front section here where the V kind of stops, I overstrained the fabric in this spot. I tried fixing it when I was drying it, but because I overstrained it, when I have the buttons closed, it just looks a little funny. Really, the solution to that would just be re-wetting that section and letting it air dry. But again, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. My sleeves, they lengthened just enough so that even when I'm just wearing it casually, if I want to wear it off my shoulder more, I can, but even if I'm wearing it just normally, like, it comes up to just before mid-hand, which is kind of what I like. And because of the way I did the decreases and stuff, it's not like there's a ton of fabric when I bunch it up here either. Like, it's not gonna, there's not so much fabric pooling over that it's gonna like flop back down like some of my sweaters do. Thoughts on this yarn? Honestly, I think it's pretty good for what it's worth. I think it's $3.20 a skein through Lind Hobbies, where I get mine from, but it's the Drops Baby Merino, extra fine baby merino. Hold on, I'm making another project with some yarn from this brand. Drops Baby Merino Superwash, basically is what it is. I believe there's also a Drops Baby Merino Extra Fine, which I think is more of like a DK weight. This is a fingering. Anyway, point is, I really like how this turned out. I think I'm going to redo my notes for it so that I have better reference in the future. But yeah, it's not super scratchy. I was a little bit worried about the fabric being a little bit scratchy because it does feel a little coarser like when I'm knitting with it, but I think it's also just because like you have more like sensory feelings through your fingers. Plus I have some nerve damage in a couple of my fingers, so that also could be part of the problem. Like, I can only feel it to a certain degree. But yeah, again, I really like how it turned out actually. So I will leave you guys with that. And if you would like more info on how I did my numbers to figure out how wide to make this cardigan without a pattern, let me know. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it as well. This is in the Drops Baby Merino in both chocolate and olive mix. Still have a decent amount of the olive mix yet left. Oh my gosh. I think I have 5.5 skeins of it left technically. So 5.5 balls of it. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. But if you want to see more from me, subscribe. If you have any comments, questions, or anything to say about the cardigan, let me know below. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.